Welcome another episode of AI Range where we talk AI and business. Today I have my guest Andre Doctorow, who is a prominent entrepreneur and business leader here in Baltics. He is founder of the Intelligence Space and AI for Good, where he focuses on creating innovation hubs here in Baltics with a focus on AI. He is also an experienced entrepreneur with over 15 years of experience in digital products, and now he is an investor in many startups. Finally, he is also my fellow board member in Artificial Intelligence Association of Latvia. And I know Andrei is really expert in lots of AI tools, using it for the work and leisure. So welcome.
Hi.
Let's start with something business-like. So there is this quite expensive Forrester report that you can buy, and it shows just recently, this year, that there are many white-collar jobs that are under high risk of automation. Like, for example, the 78% probability that in the next few years, legal occupations can be automated, social science, computer science, even programming, administrative support, sales, and so on. So what jobs AI is taking over? Is it out of proportions or is it reality?
I think it's reality. I maybe the question is when and how fast, but I'm pretty sure that many jobs are getting automated. What is really funny, what I find amusing is that instead of automating like easy jobs, we actually started the other way around, automating like intellectually hard jobs. So yeah, I think lawyers, accountants, finance, programming to some extent.
What do you think is that? Why the high-paid creative jobs the first to go?
Well, that's because of the nature of AI, because it takes these intelligence aspects that we actually thought that is like uniquely human, which turns out not to be so.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, when they thought that mechanical stuff is like easy, we still can't automate driving.
Driving, right? That's that. I would not say so. Like I just recently went in America. I saw you have Waymo, Tesla.
Yeah, I mean, but it's still, we imagined it would have been done like 10 years ago, but
Where is the self-driving cars?
Very slowly, like they will come also. But what is funny, yeah, that these intellectual pursuits, the intellectual exercises and tasks are getting automated now because of this nature of AI that is actually automating our thinking, which is funny and amazing at the same time. And what I also think that CEOs of companies are also very high on the list.
They can be automated.
For sure. That's what I'm working on. And what I see basically I start from myself and I try to automate
yourself?
My tasks. Yes, and I would be happy to automate myself and just relax. And to be honest, what I found is that like really a huge proportion of SEO managerial work can be automated. It's a matter of the right data, some frameworks, and then again, maybe 20% is left with the human touch things.
What are the human skills still valuable in the age of AI?
Well, I think all the kind of soft skills are still valuable. I think, basically we humans, we are not only thinking machines, right? Like we have many more to us in terms of emotion, in terms of connection, in terms of building relationships, in terms of more, let's say, fine things and let's say happenings, experiences, and that will not go anywhere. And basically everything, let's say if we are still in business, let's say realm, and everything that it requires, let's say human touch, some form of trust, some form of human connection will stay and will be up to the humans.
What do you think? Will we buy stuff from AI? Like I mean, like B2B situations. We have some kind of relationship. We have some trust. We have some process where we introduce some products. Would it be possible just to buy directly from AI?
Pretty sure it would be. I mean, I think it depends. Again, the easier the deal, the smaller the amount, the faster it will be taken over. I would be happy to buy from AI if it helps me to choose some, I don't know, sneakers.
Yeah.
Like I don't need a person for that. But if maybe I'm doing like a 2-year deal of like corporate accounting software, I would be happier to talk to a human.
Yeah, like AI is selling to AIs.
But yeah, I think that it's really like interesting. They're already talking that there's like negotiating AIs that like negotiate between each other, and why not?
Okay. Have you connected AI to your email?
Not to my email yet, but I'm actually looking into ways to get more and more data in, because what I see is that the current constraint, actually, in terms of in my experience, in a way and the extent and scale that I can benefit from AI, is not let's say the intelligence of the models. They are pretty smart. They are much smarter than many people in many business questions. The bottleneck is actually getting the right context in, like the right data, the right all the variables of the environment. That's a bit tricky, but when that gets into place, then I think magic happens and really, really good scenarios become possible.
Or do you see any new jobs that AI is creating?
Well, again, maybe I don't see them yet,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty sure they will be created.
Sure, but okay, on that same note, like you have been in tech field for a while, you have seen all sorts of digital transformations already. So what lessons can we take from previous transformations, like for example, smartphones, right? Or internet or any of these devices that which change the way how we work, right?
Yeah, I think basically again, I'm not an expert in history, but yeah, good example about smartphones. I think looking at the smartphone shift, it will just take some effort, some types of work away, but then we will just fill it with all the other types of work. I mean, now we are much more connected. We can do so many things on the iPhone, so we have much less, let's say, idle time. So basically, we increase the speed, but we still do like
What about
many of
adoption,
the
right?
same.
So, like, I remember the time when, early smartphones, like, no actually good applications, just games and stuff. And now, like, you pay for parking, you use banking, you do everything on smartphone. So, what about AI? Can we actually jump in the right moment? Can we predict this, or it's just like totally unpredictable process? Maybe in 5 years we'll all use AIs, or should we jump in now as the first movers? What's your opinion there?
Yeah, obviously, I should. I totally advise everybody to jump in now to be
Yeah.
first mover,
Or just
because
wait to see.
early adopters pick all most of the benefits. I mean, and yes, now is a good time. It's still pretty early. It's not maybe like super early, but still very early. There is a lot of uncertainty, a lot of things that are kind of undecided. There is this hype cycle that is kind of wow and maybe not so wow. So all that is happening. I think it's totally normal, and it's all the sign that it's still, uncharted territory. I'm pretty sure that huge changes will be coming. It's just a matter of us figuring out all the barriers, small and big for now. But huge changes are coming, and again, it will be a big shift. Like with smartphones, everything became like faster and mobile. With AI, I would say we would have much less interfaces. I mean, so much will be done with just voice. Why would I like type and click? I think a lot of that will go. A lot of manual, human interaction, like I don't know, technical will go. But again,
Bureaucracy, all sorts of, like, just all things that people don't like to do, maybe.
some people do, some people don't. But
People
yeah, I
like
mean,
bureaucracy.
yeah. But a lot of analytics, data analytics, some kind of this writing, summarizing, like it will just. But again, this will go. But some a lot of things will just, transform and be done in their place. It's not like that we're gonna sit and do nothing.
Okay,
Like
but you're an
that's
investor as well.
never gonna
So
happen.
how you're an investor, how you not lose money on AI? Because like this is similar. Like imagine like I don't know, like 15 years ago when you started with all things like digital marketing, the smartphones, the digital revolution. So if you do a little bit wrong decisions, you could lose all of your money, right? So how you not lose money on AI solutions as an investor now?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I think, yeah, in general, probably diversify. Again, I'm quite high risk. Maybe my investment advice is
High risk investment advice warning. Yeah.
yes, as a warning. My advice might be not appropriate for most of the people because, yeah, I tend to, kind of put a lot of eggs in one basket. But still, I try to diversify. Again, as I said, now it's uncharted territory. Now it's kind of Wild West. So yeah, everything is AI, everything is revolution, and it might seem so, but again, it's high risk, high reward. I try to do. I personally, I invest most of my time, my personal time, basically, that I invest in the, let's say, solution and product I'm building, just solving my own problem. Basically, I'm kind of replacing myself as CEO, let's say. And yeah, I believe in it and I see like how it applied and I just experiment a lot and see. In terms of investments, again, I try to pick those that I see kind of building myself or I see using myself, then it's much closer to like my understanding. But
So
yeah,
your this investment hypothesis is based around things that you know well, right?
I know well or I would use the solution.
For
Basically, since if I see myself as a client, for example, we invested in some guys, they are doing like some health related medical research and personalized
medicine,
not medicine but kind of
advice,
supplements,
supplements, right?
and they do a lot of like tracking and that's I'm super fan of that. I like that. And
You like supplements,
I'm gay. I like health and like this biohacking and tracking
biohacking.
metrics. So yeah, I invest in them, I use their product, and yeah, we
What's the
just
best biohack you know?
what's the best biohack? Sleep well.
Sleep well. I need that hack.
That's the easiest,
It's I fortunately cannot often use it, but I need it. Yeah. So the on the same note regarding the investments AI. First, I think this was the first time I noticed you actually was that you were doing these really interesting company. It was called Harmony. I think it was. Several years ago when I met you, and it was about understanding human emotions and how to connect the right people in the team, how to sell better using the emotions, and all of this was, I think, way ahead of time, right? Because before any of these technologies actually were popular. Can you share of that experience, what it was, and
yeah.
yeah.
Sure. Well, it was not exactly emotions. The idea was that we could identify person's personality type and cognitive traits and behavior patterns, basically using different methods.
Personality traits, right?
Yeah. Basically, personality traits that we basically know how the human behaves, like, and then we can see trends in emotions, trends in thinking, in behavior, etc. And there are basically the methodologies are pretty old and they are quite known. The innovation that we were looking to build is basically to automate the process and basically build scalable solutions based on that. And for that, we employed AI, let's say, relatively early when it was not all over the place. But unfortunately, since the project is, yeah, I'm no longer in these projects, even though we achieved some initial success, then we kind of stumbled with increasing the accuracy, probably since there was not enough data, because it's actually very tricky to collect data in this space because it's kind of personal. It requires this expert interviews, etc. So in the end, we didn't build a scalable solution.
But how it's different from 16 personality trait tests, right? Or I know actually companies do it. They ask employees to do these tests, then they compare things.
Yes, sure. Yeah, basically the problem with tests, there is a problem with tests, and it is that when people ask questions themselves, they kind of they paint an image they would like others to see. And what we saw that very often they are very inaccurate because of society, upbringing, like all the norms, etc. People try to fit in, they try to be somebody else. So they don't actually answer, according to their nature. That's why different methods are required. And for us, like the experts who really know that stuff deeply, they actually use like different techniques to like not direct questions. They like talk. Our experts could have talked to you about any topic, like weather or your personal meal preferences or whatever, and they would just pick these small signals and then basically build your personality type, and that would be like very
So you
close
try
to
to
your
build
nature.
such an AI where you can have a discussion and then...
No, what we built is even more kind of magical, I would say, that also apart from the traits that you can pick up from the conversation, there are actually visual traits. Basically how the person looks, like a lot of like...
So if I'm not slept well last night, it would be very bad.
No. But basically your facial traits, even your like body composition, all this is actually proven to be linked with your personality. And what we wanted to do is actually have a picture of the face and do it from there.
What accuracy did you got?
We got some correlation, but again, it was
Not very precise, yeah.
very high, yeah.
Okay.
And at that time we tried to do like with the conversational stuff and with chat, but at that time there was no this ChatGPT and language models, so it was super hard. So yeah, in the end.
But what is the key learning you take from that? So something that you then implement in your next endeavors.
Well, actually, that project taught me a lot of startup lessons, let's say, because it was my first kind of proper startup. Everything else was kind of this main business, core operational business or spin-offs. And but I think the main lesson would be to really listen to feedback, like from investors, customers, etc. Because we spent a lot of time, building inside, just believing in our genius idea. Like we actually spent like years without releasing anything to the public because we thought like, yeah, we are right, everybody is stupid. And yes, that's something I completely changed now, that we try to release very fast. We try to like speak to customers. That's why I think also fundraising is very important. When you speak to investors, that's another very valuable source of opinion, even if you don't need money. Like just fundraise, hear what others are saying, the questions they're asking. That's super valuable.
I agree on you. Like we also have been building very unique AI products in the past. And then it's also one of my key learnings of this famous quote from Johnny Ive from Apple. So he was the one also who was designing, let's say, Apple Watch, and everybody was thinking Apple Watch will be some kind of round, extremely unique, and then it comes out like as Android watch. So, and what he's saying it's very easy to be unique, different. It's very hard to be better. So it's kind of very easy to be unique. It's very hard to be better. And I think it's kind of like common sense for business. Basically, if somebody is making money and you want to compete there and doing similar thing better, it's higher chance of success than just trying to do something unique that nobody does, right?
Yeah. And also, again, we have very limited perspective, we ourselves. Even if we see an opportunity, it might be flawed. And it might need just a little bit of an adjustment to become like genius. But we need to like these adjustments to find them fast. And usually even a little feedback, even like just several people giving you feedback uncover like 80% of the problems.
let's go to the investor perspective. So there is this Gartner hype cycle where you have innovation triggered, and there is a hype, a peak of expectations. Everybody thinks it'll be great, that they try out, that nothing really works as expected. Then there is this valley of despair, so to say, and then at the end, a plateau of productivity. So where do you think we are with regards to AI?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about it, and I can't say. From one perspective, we are kind of over the hype, because in the beginning, especially, like everybody was thinking like, wow, AI is gonna be like magic, it's gonna solve everything, and then it doesn't happen. Because I actually would try to start like initially like very early AI, like a project to like teach people AI and stuff. And when I was talking to clients, like I was pitching like, okay, let's go learn, join our community, and they're saying, no, I don't want to learn. I want AI to do everything. I do nothing. That's the perspective most of the people were approaching AI.
It's still often perspective.
Yeah. And then when this didn't happen, everybody's like, it's some. So kind of it dropped down. But in terms of business, I think it's still kind of on the hype. There's still these billion, trillion-dollar projects announced, and
wait, I read somewhere that in US these, what you're saying, these billion investments, these are actually there's only very small percentage of startups that get this, and like there's like these are these big cases, and that there's like 99% cases where they actually get like 100K or something. So it's not that simple, right?
Yeah, I think especially now the fight is kind of in these huge
language models.
Huge language model builders and this infrastructure, maybe this Stargate thing. But again, we see some amazing like moonshots or whatever, like this DeepSeek thing. Like,
do you believe that they build it for 5 million? Do you trust them?
Look, but all this debate about training, I think it could have been like this training cost 5 million. I think it's possible. The other thing is that they do still have like infrastructure huge and stuff, but I'm pretty sure it's possible. And I think it's great. It's great news for everybody that such
not great news for companies getting billions of investment.
Yeah, such cases are possible. And it dramatically decreases the barrier, because even if we think, it doesn't even matter if it's true or not, but imagine everybody is now thinking, wow, we actually can try to go in there. Because before they would say it's not even worth trying. We need 100 million or billion, whatever, otherwise it's no use. But now, even if it's a possibility, like, wow, it opens up.
I hope that just for the perspective, remember, like about 3 years ago, GPT 3.5 comes out. You need 10 million to train. You need huge resource. Now, just a few weeks ago, I saw that they are running similar model to GPT 3.5 on Raspberry Pi for $100. So it's crazy. So, but are investors tired of hearing that every startup has AI?
Well, yes, because now I think like the spectrum, like everybody's putting AI, even if you have like a prompt there in the process, it's already becomes AI. So in a way, it's funny. And
is it better chances of raising money if you don't mention AI?
I think now probably it's becoming, counterintuitive, Don't mention AI, you'll be special, because otherwise everything is AI. But again, I mean, I think more or less, let's say, smart or up-to-date investor would be now pretty cautious and will be figuring out the extent of AI and competitiveness and how will it compete like with GPT and so on. And I think the most important question and the most difficult question now for any startup, like, how are you better than ChatGPT or its next version? Because actually it's very hard to answer this question in many cases.
Yeah, that's like a wild card. I think nobody actually knows how much can be automated with huge models, and which moment it will start plateauing. there's somebody already saying that, like Ilya Schulister, that it's already plateaued, but it's so others say not. So it's we don't know at which moment we can automate not. But then you have heard many pitches of startups, so especially with AI. Can you give some example where AI company actually exceeded the expectations of how they use AI, or like really good ones?
Well, for me, actually, the most when AI exceeded my expectations was the first time when I tried GPT-3, when it even wasn't before ChatGPT. I remember that I went to one of these services that were doing marketing texts, and I was like, okay, let's try this AI, and I expected a Google Translate style text. And when I started using it, I was like, wow, this is
something different.
This is something really different. And that's when like my really perspective like shifted a lot, and I started like fully investigating what the hell is going on, because then it's really exceeded my expectations. And then it was kind of, yeah.
With regards to startups,
now it's gradual. With startups, yeah, I haven't seen like that many amazing use cases. And again, I think this first, let's say first or whatever, this initial wave, I think not most, all of them, all of the tools that were kind of promising as the super solutions, like none of them survived my desktop. I only use plain ChatGPT and Claude. That's it. Like no extra tools survived basically the test of usability, let's say. So in a way, for now, it's nothing really exceeded expectations.
Have you tried Apple Intelligence? Oh, you don't have Apple.
I do have Apple, but I haven't tried Apple Intelligence, but I have low
expectations.
Low expectations.
Okay, let's see about that. Maybe that's also something good for you. But what about the investment strategy, evaluating in, startups that come to you? Are you using AI? It seems that you're not, right? Or like
No, I am. We use AI, basically chatbot, to collect all the pitches and all the information for now. So it's basically all the startups, they talk to a bot to to get all the data. Then we analyze some of the pitch decks, let's say, to compare against the checklist, but that's it for now. Then we kind of manually.
What do you use for comparing pitch decks to checklist?
Yeah, for now we just use like Claude or ChatGPT.
Oh, it can do that.
In some cases,
But it's nice that you say in some cases, because as you know, like maybe listeners can see other videos that I have, but these language models start to get confused if you start pushing many things at once.
Yeah.
If you're patient and you put in presentation, ask one thing, do again, then
yeah. But we're already checking out some tools that automate that, including our our own Latvian Dialita. But also some tools that are actually much more mature than that, and there are pretty nice implementations for that that insta do like market analysis and give some market numbers and competitors. So it's actually, yeah, I think this process is very ripe for automation.
I can see that
in many respects.
So let's do some fun questions now. So if you could make an AI clone of any historical figure and have a dinner with it, who would it be? And also, have you tried character AI?
I have tried character AI, and to be honest, the whole thing is somehow not appealing to me. I was like, I'm really wondering like why so many hundreds of millions use that. I kind of tried to chat into a couple of, I don't know.
Who did you try to chat?
I think some philosopher like Seneca or something. But yes.
Not very convincing?
It was just weird. It was just weird. To be honest, what I sometimes do when I actually like create like a personality that I need, but like just addressing like a specific author or historical figure just feels strange. So
but what if we could do it properly? Well, you want to speak with philosophers? Who do you would like to speak?
Yeah, I would speak to some, philosophers or gurus or spiritual teachers, something like that. Because this is a topic, that like I think is like deeply like intelligent and
By the way, I have seen
if all
already.
that wisdom, yeah, and it's very rare, let's say, because you don't meet like philosopher, especially like the famous one on the street. Yeah, I would do some of that conversations. That would be very interesting.
Do you believe AI will become some kind of techno religion?
Techno religion, well, not sure what do you mean by
No,
that.
we could speculate. Like, for example, we create AI smarter than anyone ever has been, any people would ever could be. Would people, and it would kind of pose as some kind of superior being, and this would be kind of, and it would tell you what to do and how to do in life, and you would obey. What do you think?
I think it might be possible. I think in that direction, Black Mirror is like just amazing. Have you seen
I
it?
have seen few episodes. I like them, but they are sometimes very like I need the intellectual effort to think about what's happening there. It's not like you could just
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
relax
yeah.
on that.
But I think they are. It's amazing. Like they did it some time ago already. But these are kind of these episodes when they kind of take one, let's say, technological direction and take it to the extreme. And it's funny how now I kind of see like even the small bits of that happening. For example, there's an episode when everybody has these glasses or whatever device that records everything that you do and everybody speaks, and then they kind of rewind and they can like rewind like a second ago and see how Evald was like emotion, his eye ticked, and they become kind of this crazy on these small little details. And actually, yesterday, I got this device, basically a card that records the meetings,
Oh,
records any conversation, or you just
what's
take a
the name?
note.
I have seen it.
Plod,
Oh,
Plod. And basically, you push a button and you get a note or record an offline meeting. And they kind of connected, that, oh, we're closer to
yeah,
like
Black
recording
Mirror.
everything. And even they have not a card, they have this kind of necklace thing that is here. And that is getting close, to start to record everything, and everything goes to AI, and then you overanalyze. So it kind of gets messy. So I imagine that some people, I think, would go that way.
Yeah, so like to build AI models, actually, this is very far away from evolutionary, because evolution means basically there is a random process, unguided process of changes. But if you're familiar with the mathematical theory and the data that is behind all of these models, so do you think that AI research shows that there is an intelligent design for the universe?
To be honest, I'm sure there is intelligent design. Even the startup, basically the Harmony project that I told you about, it shows that people are very systematically designed. For example, certain traits in certain people like always come with certain other traits. And all the personality types as a whole, they form a complete system when like different type is complementary to the other type and they kind of help each other. So
Okay.
to be honest, I think universe is very intelligent.
Pretty intelligent. So, do you think AI could be a tool for mass manipulation control, like in 1984 and so on?
For sure.
Are we already under control?
I think in many ways. I would say more yes than no. Because again, like
Did you see that Zuckerberg recently turned off the fact-checking, truth-seeking AIs? So they admitted publicly, finally, that they have these fact-checkers that control these huge AI machines that then flagged millions of contents. And then recently they just they turned it off for the America, and hopefully also for the Europe. Is this something that we're talking about?
something, but again, we are definitely controlled by all these algorithms, AI or not. All the social media feeds, all the media that you get, this is all manipulated. Like, and the crazy thing is that I talk today about, I don't know, buying a snowboard, tomorrow I get an ad. So the devices are listening to everything we're saying. Like it's already there.
About the old thing that nobody can prove it, right? That they voiceless, but they
No,
some
but come
yeah.
on. No, I'm sure it's happening. Look, once I was walking on the street with my wife, and we just mentioned private jet. Next day, I receive an email. It's not even a targeted ad, email with an
That
offer
is
of a
pretty
private jet.
convincing case for that.
I was like, what? And then it happened many times over. So I think we are already manipulated a lot, and we don't even need AI. We need just good algorithms.
So will AI replace human relationships like in movie Hair? Remember that one?
Yeah.
And what's so special about real relationships then?
Look, yeah, movie Her is great. I think, and again, I think it's not replacing relationship. It replaces some aspect of, let's say, like connection. But then I would say we take away the part human, because in my opinion, in my experience, human is much more than thinking and talking.
Another dimension
again,
there.
we have several or many very important, let's say, dimensions that make us human. Our experience, our emotions, our feelings, our intuition, actually, which is very important. That's why I think everything will not become automated, because I don't believe that how we make decisions and also
Are rational. They are not rational.
money successful, they are not rational.
But this is well documented. Maybe you know Daniel Kahneman's Slow and Fast Thinking, the Nobel Prize in economics for studying for I don't know how many years, 30 years, that no, there's no rational humans out there.
Yeah, but of course, like the way we make decisions, we have no idea where our decisions come from. That's why the idea that even the super intelligent AI will make best decisions, it's impossible, because like there's never enough data. But imagine, like for any decision, data is unlimited. You can take that and that and that and that, so you won't even know what to put in that AI. And our intuition, our subconscious takes, I don't know, gazillion variables or whatever, and then somehow it works. And it also takes a lot of cues from other people, their emotions. So we won't be replaced by AI for our decisions, that's one thing. And obviously, yeah, human relationships and just our feeling, our state, it's not going anywhere. And another interesting trend that I noticed, I know maybe you noticed, that a lot of companies are canceling remote work.
Yeah, I know.
Tech companies.
I'm trying to do this as well.
Yeah.
Not easy.
And that's another signal, I think, that people are realizing, okay, like we still cannot substitute that very important human component of like connections, of just being together, of like talking face to face. So what I'm very optimistic about, that actually these aspects, they will become even more meaningful and important, because everything else again will be automated, but that will stay. And a lot of focus will then go to like, how do we build relationships, how do we keep relationships, how we, let's say, are better human beings like inside. That's very so that's a great future that's a great aspect that AI brings.
Sure. So what's your go-to party trick you show with AI for people who don't know what is AI? Like, for example, you go to grandmother or some relative that never used AI. What do you show them?
Yeah, now the coolest thing to show is actually that ChatGPT live video and voice.
Live video and voice.
Yeah, that's the coolest. When you just basically show something and then it talks about
with a phone.
it. Yeah. I think that's the coolest.
But what you can do with it?
Coolest to show. Even like recently, I showed to my ski instructor that basically I told him that as a joke that he is gonna be substituted. And he was like, ha 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 how? And I showed him like, just turn on live. I basically show a person skiing and I give me advice on how to ski better. And it gave advice which is, again, obviously ridiculous, but still, it shows
you can see how this could work.
That it's much closer than you think.
What did he say?
We laughed and he said, okay, for my 5 years until retirement.
5 years, right? But
he
he need to get ready. If AI could take any boring, mundane task in your life, what you would choose and why?
Well,
Not the smart ones, but the boring and mundane.
boring and mundane.
Do you want robot in your house?
No, that part is taken care of. But again, out of smart tasks, I'm trying to automate like analyzing all the like reports, and I get from my team. That's a smart and in a way mundane.
Self-driving car?
Self-driving, yes, actually yes.
Have you tried Waymo or Tesla FSD?
No. But
I,
actually, yeah, that would be the best. Because I don't like driving. I think it's by far a long time it should have been automated.
You've seen the latest Tesla robot taxis. You can sleep, right? So, but anyways, I recently we're in America, and the Waymo is awesome. Like it's nobody sitting there, and you can put in the address, drive to the huge city to other side, and Tesla FSD with cameras exactly the same. I didn't know how to get from point A to B.
Yeah, the coolest concept is actually even there is a European company that subsidiary of Rimac. They've done this full self-driving taxi with the whole system, everything that they are trying to deploy now to some cities. I was like thinking, yeah, we should get it to Riga.
So try. I will be happy. But I assume that not as easy to do these things in Europe, but they are great. I love it. So what's your prediction for the most absurd product in the next 5 years using AI?
I think some, I don't know, sex partner or something.
Oh, and so sex robots. Okay, probably possible, right? but
I'm sure many people would try to do something like that.
Let's hope for the bright future of people wanting to do the relationships, bringing back to the present moment, being together. So
absolutely,
definitely, I see that happening as well. So nice talking to you today. It was a great conversation. Yeah. Thanks for joining this episode of AI Ranch. As a gratitude for our work here, subscribe, like, share. See you in the next one.